And good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Misfits this week. Before we get started, I just wanted to take a serious note here and say, Tom Brady, if you need help, if YouTube is keeping you from letting us love to hate you, blink twice. We are here. We are here tonight for Banned in the USA. Because you know, if you know, you know. So let's see who we have here today. Big
Hey,
D and Luke. How are you all?
just
I'm
fine. How
Big
are you?
Double D.
Oh no, honey.
I can try.
You can try.
Do I look like Pamela?
Not
Yep,
hardly.
spitting image.
I
Sorry.
mean, when I
Sorry,
put on
Luke.
a blonde wig, all those guys in prison said I look just like Pamela.
Oh, well.
Yeah. But before we got on here, we were on the discussion of boobs and my episode on what I will say bracketology, because I can't say the name of the podcast live at the moment. Um, but they got the biggest kick out of, because I said no, I want men to be slightly afraid,
You too.
and to
Well, count me afraid.
well, I was saying so seriously, I was just like, no, I want them to be a little bit afraid, and to be able to just end the life there. A guy would be happy with that. And one of the girls was
Mark
just
me as
like,
afraid and turned on.
one of the girls was like, for all of you out in podcast world that can't see how serious her face is right now, I'm like, no, I'm at peace with it.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
I'm at peace with it too. Just smother me. That's the way to
and
go.
Freddie, the host, was like, if there's a way to go, I'd be happy to go that way. I was like, yeah,
100%.
yeah. So our topic for this evening is all things banned, because of course we decided to make one little comment about Tom Brady's roast, and YouTube can't have a sense of humor about that, and we get temporarily banned on YouTube. So as a little our little love letter and thank you to YouTube and Tom Brady, we are just going to talk about various different things that are banned not only here but in other places, because I found some quite interesting things. Where do you guys want to start this evening? Do we want to talk about random things? Do we want to talk about movies or books or music?
Mm, talk about random things first.
So whenever I was doing my research earlier in the week on this, there was some pretty standard things out there, but I found quite the interesting list actually not too long ago, like probably about 20 minutes ago. Um, that apparently, in this article, was as of December of last year. Apparently in China they don't like puns.
Oh,
Aww.
Um, the Chinese language is apparently perfectly suited for puns, because of the many homophones the language has.
hmm
I'm scared of homophones.
I can understand that.
Homophones burned a cross on my lawn.
Oh gosh.
Yep, they
Big
did.
meanies.
So apparently numerous popular sayings and even customs, as well as jokes, rely on the wordplay there, but the Chinese government decided to ban puns and wordplay for fear of cultural and linguistic chaos.
What? That's kind
That's
of
not
weird.
very punny.
It's not punny at all.
I mean, who doesn't love linguistic chaos?
I love
I love
linguistic
a good
chaos.
pun.
I love linguistic chaos. It's
I
Yeah,
love
always
any chaos
fun.
that involves a tongue.
yep.
Yeah. That's
Um,
sad.
yeah, yeah. I mean, you just can't have any fun.
Nope.
Hi,
Um,
y'all.
Hey, Wendell.
Wendell.
Brenda
Why
says
is it?
she's
Why isn't he
banned.
out? Why isn't? Why isn't he out in the out camping with Glenn and Bobby?
I don't. I think it was a private kind of thingamajiggy they went to.
Well, shoot, he could have been out
I
camping
love
with.
thingamajiggies.
Yep.
Oh, good Lord, Brenda, why did you show a gun? Jesus.
Shut it. Oh, like online?
She
Yeah,
got,
probably on her show.
she got banned because she showed a gun on her show.
She's probably like, "Hey, listen here.
Uh-oh, are we
Don't
gonna
come
get
around here
banned?
doing this."
Oh,
Are we
oh,
gonna get banned right now? Huh?
Oh,
instantly.
guns out, guns
Yeah.
out.
Reporting
Uh,
live. We are no longer live on YouTube now.
oh,
Oops.
I brought some tickets to the gun show.
Bow, bow, bow.
Bow, 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 bow. Hey,
Uh,
Brenda.
So and I felt a little triggered by this one.
Because of the gun. Triggered.
Yes,
Oh,
yes, very much so.
That's called a
Um,
pun.
oh, we're China is shutting down the live on their side. Yep, we got that live as well.
kicked out of
um,
China.
but
Mm,
apparently Russia is very anti-emo.
well,
Oh, for sure. For sure.
yeah.
They came in with a series of anti-emo laws to outlaw rebellious kids with pierced lips, ridiculous haircuts, and too much eyeshadow.
Wow.
Because the government considered the emu culture
The
a
emu.
Emus.
the emu culture a dangerous teen trend.
Wonder when that was.
Well,
Back
here's
in
what's
the
messed up
80s,
about that.
90s.
Russia is one of the worst places on the planet. It's so cold. It's so close to the Arctic Circle. They have such a
They have
just
creepy
depressing
dolls.
society that it's just how can you not be emo living in Russia?
Yeah, yeah.
I would be
Supposed
so
to be
emo.
happy. You're supposed to like it.
I'm just gonna come in with a Joker painted face.
Yeah.
Ugh. Well, I can't go there because I'd get killed. So
Mm,
Well, and then
not good.
so if I go to Milan, I'm just screwed because apparently if you want to visit Milan, make sure you are smiling all the time.
Oh, I could
Uh,
go.
the
I
uh, the
could
Ita-
go.
the Italian metropolis has imposed a ban on frowning.
Oh, wow.
So me and my RBF
Yeah, you would
would
not
be
be
screwed.
able to go.
The city states that it is a legal requirement to smile all the time, except during funerals or hospital visits. Grouches who
Oh,
dare to break this regulation can face time.
wow. How much time, I wonder?
Like, am I gonna do an
If you don't
hour in
smile, they
jail?
take you into a jail cell and they get a clown to go in there and they tickle you.
Oh, no. Some people, that would scare.
I
You
don't
make them
like
cry.
crowns.
It just make me aroused.
I'll just sit and cry in the corner.
My best friend hates clowns. I was going to say crowns. She loves crowns.
I'm terrified of crayons.
She's like
All
a
those
princess.
colors. God did not
It's
intend all
too
those colors to
much.
mix in the same box. Okay. Uh,
And this is quite an interesting one. And this is apparently in New York that you can't be walking around in public with ice cream in your pocket.
Oh, damn.
Uh,
I always put
walking uh,
ice cream in my
walking
pocket.
in public with ice cream in your pocket is illegal in New York,
Who makes up these laws?
but apparently it's only on Sundays.
Oh, okay. That's that's the problem.
But what if
only on
it's like
Sundays.
Sunday? What if it's like Monday at like 12:05 a.m. and it had just come out of Sunday and the ice cream was still in my pocket?
You would
Is there proof that
put
it
in trouble.
happened on Sunday? Maybe,
Is there a reason that it's specifically Sunday? Is it like a religious thing, like the Lord hates ice cream?
No, no, no,
Like
no.
first
No,
it's God hates gays, now it's God hates cream.
no, and that's not true.
it just
God hates God hates
God
gay people
hates
for sure.
God
No.
hates cream in the pocket
We're
on
not
Sundays.
I'm
supposed
just
to excuse me,
I'm
we're not
just
supposed to
kidding.
discuss religion on here, on this podcast, on
I'm
this
just kidding.
show.
If God hated gay people, why do you make it so cute?
You're ridiculous.
And then and apparently France hates ketchup.
France hates ketchup?
But I put ketchup on my french fries all the time.
France decided that elementary school kids would be better off without it.
Oh, yeah, because there's a lot of
Um,
sugar.
There's a
Got
lot
me
of
there.
sugar.
the
Yeah.
That's
only
true.
but the only exception when students can eat ketchup in school is with their french fries. So I guess they just can't be walking around with
Wait a minute. French
What
fries
else would
aren't
you
even
put french
French.
fries on?
their freedom fries.
Yeah, but what else would you put
Oh, okay.
ketchup on?
So what? You can't have ketchup on your
Meatloaf?
hot dog?
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely
Oh,
meatloaf.
that's sad.
Definitely meatloaf.
Oh. Yeah, do you know that in some countries ketchup is legally classified as a smoothie because of how much sugar is in it?
No.
Mhm.
What? What? Where? You have to prove this
All
to
the
me, Luke.
places. I can't prove anything. It's just what I read on Facebook.
And if
Facebook
it's on
Live.
Facebook, it's
It's
very
definitely
obviously
true.
true.
It's
So
Absolutely.
very thank you. I'm a researcher.
Okay.
so proud of you. And apparently, in Singapore, there's a strict ban on chewing gum.
Oh.
Why?
So in
What's funny?
2004, Singapore imposed a strict ban on chewing gum imports. There's also a fine for spitting gum out on the street.
I've heard of that in different areas before.
Singapore is also famous for its unusual laws against litter, graffiti, jaywalking, spitting, expelling mucus from the nose, and urinating anywhere but in a toilet.
That's
I'm just
fair.
gonna say, of all those things, that sounds like that country is very gay. Because that
Really?
seems like the rule list at every gay bar I've ever been to.
Really?
Oh, yeah. That's
No,
so fruity.
and it's
They're like, "No littering."
specifically,
Oh, what
and
straight guy made that law?
it's specifically we don't allow expelling mucus of the nose in the
Oh,
gay bars
Yeah,
as
like,
well.
what straight guy would make that a law? That's gayness right there.
I don't know.
I think this is a great one. The Australians have
G'day,
a
mate.
ban on small-breasted pornography.
Really?
Me too. Me too. That's
Hilarious.
against the law in my house for
That's
sure.
so funny.
So they may not be the most conservative nation in the world, but it's still a huge controversy when the country's government banned adult publications and films featuring women with small breastises.
Well,
Can
some people
I
like
teach
all this.
you how to speak Australian?
Yes.
Please do.
So the American letter R,
R
and then the American letter N,
N
and the American letter R.
R
Now say it really fast.
R and R.
Yeah, you just said "oh no" in Australian. Good job.
Ah,
R and
What?
R. R
R
and
and
R.
R.
That's how you speak Australian. Congratulations. You're Aussie mates.
R and R. Pretty good.
there's a guy on I think he's on TikTok, but I see the videos on Facebook, and his Australian accent is so much
It's so
that
funny. I love him.
"Arr."
When he does like recreations of like Twilight
yeah,
and
yeah,
Oh
yeah,
I love him.
yeah, yeah.
No, Bella, R and R.
R and R.
Um, And against everyone's childhood, Poland hates Winnie the Pooh.
Oh.
What?
A little town in central Poland, of which I can't pronounce, decided to ban the iconic honey-loving character from its
Oh.
playgrounds. Local authorities argued that Pooh is half naked and of dubious sexuality, which is
What?
incredibly inappropriate for little children.
He is not half
Yeah.
naked. He's got fur, just like Donald Duck has feathers, and they're both male.
Did you see that horror movie now that Winnie the Pooh came out of like into
Yes.
public? Did
Oh,
you
I
watch
forget what
it?
it
I
was
thought it was pretty
called.
good.
No, I didn't
It's
watch
called
it.
Blood and Honey.
Yeah,
I didn't want to
Yeah.
watch it.
I didn't watch it,
Pretty good.
but I heard.
It's pretty good. It's pretty creepy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
Pooh is
anyway,
kind of sexual though. He's always up in that honey jar and he's like, "Ooh, give me that honey."
Because he likes honey. I roll around in honey like that if
I
I like
bet
it
you
too.
do. That's what I do on
oh
bear night at the
goodness.
bars. I just roll around in honey and then walk in there like, "Okay, fellas, come and
That's
get
not
it."
that's not the kind of bear they're talking about,
Do you
Luke.
wear your little red crop top too?
I do, and no pants.
And so
And all the boys
Sweden,
try to get up there, and I hope they don't find the poo.
Oh,
Fair.
Lord.
fair. And so Sweden doesn't want us to have any fun. Apparently, in 1979,
Shut up.
Sweden became the first
Wendell.
country. Sweden became the first country in the world to ban physical punishment of children. Yes, that means
Boo.
not even parents are allowed to spank their own children in this European country.
Where?
Boo.
And since then, more than 30 other countries have passed similar laws.
Say that again. I missed it because Wendell was messing with me.
Is he trying to get you out in his tent?
No, he's being a
So
weirdo.
in
I'm not
in 1979, Sweden became the first country in the world to ban physical punishment of children.
Oh,
So
yeah.
not even parents were allowed to spank their children.
Oh, that's crazy.
Oh, but doesn't say anything about my uncle.
True.
Listen, if my uncle hadn't spanked me, I would have never found out that I love it so much.
That is true. In Malaysia, apparently their government decided to ban the color yellow in clothing.
I could deal with that.
Because apparently it's the color of a group of opposition activists who called for the Malaysian Prime Minister to resign.
That's horrible.
That is pretty bad.
That's oppression.
And I think this is probably the best one I've come across. So one of the most bizarre things banned in China, you cannot be reincarnated without consent.
They don't have control over that.
It was prohibited as an attempt of the Chinese government to keep Buddhist monks from Tibet under control.
Oh my goodness.
Particularly to diminish the Dalai Lama's influence in the religion.
Oh my goodness.
That's so crazy. Who has a religion with a llama? God.
Yeah.
A dolly and a llama.
Oh, I love dollies.
If
I also love
it's-
Dolly Parton.
I was gonna say, if it's
No.
Dolly riding a llama, then
Yeah.
then maybe.
Oh, I have to tell you the funniest story. So my husband and I went to my sister's wedding. We drove 17 hours from Indiana to Wyoming, and we stayed with one of her bridesmaids, family friend. I don't know. We'd never met her before, and she kept us in the basement like she didn't keep us, but like we had a room in the basement. And my husband is terrified of dolls. He thinks they're so creepy. He says it's
Fair.
truly terrifying to him. So we walked in this room and there's this gigantic painting, like gigantic painting, and it's a doll and it's super creepy. And he like freaked out and he goes, "We have to take this down right now." And I said, "Yeah, sure." So we took it off the wall and we turned it around and hid it and lit it, like leaned it up against the wall. And we went and told her and we said, "Hey, we're so sorry. We had to take that creepy doll painting off the wall." And she said, "Oh yeah, that's my grandma."
What? Her
And
grandma?
she said, "Yeah, my grandma painted that."
Oh, oh, oh.
Her grandma painted this doll. Like it looked like it had come from a shop
Oh.
or something, but it was a family heirloom.
Oh my goodness. Was she mad?
No, she was laughing. She's like, "I know it's super creepy. That's why I keep it in the basement."
Oh, okay.
But
Yeah,
my
it's up
husband
on the
was
wall, just
mortified.
in the basement.
Oh,
He was
yeah.
mortified. He was like, "I'm so sorry." She's like, "No, it's
Oh,
fine. It's creepy."
It's creepy as shit.
that's funny. That is embarrassing when you do something like that. It's like, "Oh,
Ugh,
I'm so
I'd
sorry."
be like,
Yeah.
I love when I put my foot in my mouth.
Yeah, well,
You wanna see?
it's easy.
Nah, I'm too old for that now.
so you get that leg up there. And so also in Great Britain, you can't die in one of the Houses of Parliament.
Yeah, okay.
It's apparently one of the most famous and silliest laws in Great Britain. But Britain's law does say it's illegal to die in the Houses of Parliament, the seat of the British Parliament in central London.
But what if somebody wants to change their hair color?
And I
They
think
have to go
it's
somewhere else?
Yes, you
I
have to go out.
and I think it's interesting. It says we can only speculate what punishment for this particular offense would be.
Yeah, what are they gonna do? Kill me?
Oh.
That's why I find it funny that there are laws in some states that it's illegal to try to commit suicide. Like, oh God, what are you gonna do? Kill me? Like,
Yeah,
what? Why
exactly.
is that a law? That's so dumb.
It's kinda weird, huh?
Uh, Humans
Particularly
are
weird.
weird.
I think I should have just looked up a list of what things are banned in China.
There's a lot of them,
Yeah.
China.
Uh, um, you can't time travel.
In China?
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
Apparently, recently the idea of time traveling became very popular. But obviously, the local government did not share the excitement in that. Uh, for fear of distorting certain historical events, things, and people, the country decided to ban this concept, explaining that producers and writers are treating the serious history in a frivolous way, which should by no means be encouraged anymore.
That's because there's so many smart people in China. They're afraid somebody's actually gonna invent a time machine, and they're
Yeah.
like, "We don't want to be the ones that mess all this up."
Now I do love this. In Oklahoma, you can't be making ugly faces at a dog.
Oh. Mm.
That seems like a pretty reasonable
What
law.
if
I
you're
stand by
what if
that.
you're just ugly? You can't help it.
Well, then you
Oh.
didn't do it purposefully.
Yeah, I think they're saying
Yeah,
intentionally.
Like, no,
okay.
this is just my face.
Yeah, this is just my face, man. Sorry.
But apparently, you may be fined or even jailed. So yeah, those were some of the crazier ones. Some I watch a lot of these different types of videos. Um, but a big thing that's banned like in the U.S. Is beluga caviar.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
Um, which it, which is quite interesting because they have found like a new type of sturgeon that they can um, get caviar from. because I watched a whole big thing with like Gordon Ramsay was testing out the different ones because he didn't believe that it was going to be as good, but apparently it was even better,
Mm.
which I don't know
You're
who's
making me
like the,
hungry.
which I
Ugh,
don't, I'm not looking at fish eggs going, yeah,
I love eggs in my
please.
mouth. Ugh.
Fish eggs?
Mm.
Well, it's not fish balls.
No, fish eggs. Slit them
Um,
open.
yeah,
They're very
the
fishy.
process of watching them do it, I feel like is terrible. But and then we also have I've watched far too many videos on this, but Japanese pufferfish,
Mm.
um, which is quite a Japanese delicacy, but because like the chefs that prepare it over there have to go through like years and years of training to be able to prepare it correctly so that it doesn't kill anyone.
Mm-hmm.
At one
uh
point, it was like 1 in 7 of the dishes served were fatal.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
but they have to
That's
go
pretty
through
scary.
some pretty rigorous training to be able to, because of how thinly it has to be sliced and prepared and stuff like that.
Speaking of straining, somebody made a comment. Did you see where China is making food from poop?
Is it human?
Mm.
I mean, I thought they were always doing that, but
Ooh. What?
Ew. Huh?
What?
Who? Where?
No.
no, I was
When? Why?
I think she's making a joke. Shut up. You shut up too.
Me?
Yes, you.
Could it be? Then who?
I was telling everybody to
Tina,
shut
you're
up.
so
Tonight.
funny.
So do we want to move on to books, movies, or music?
Movies.
Yes. Movie.
Let me go through all my list of books here.
I thought it was so sad when they banned that movie One Night in Paris from being watched at my youth group lock-in. That was ridiculous.
Or you mean
You're a
you mean
goober.
last Tango in Paris?
No, One Night in Paris, starring Paris Hilton.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
That was her sex
How
tape,
could you
right?
forget it was one of the most iconic films of all time?
Pardon me.
It's
for not keeping
iconic.
Pardon me for not keeping up with all the celebrity sex tapes.
Yeah.
I
Well,
mean, the
hers was the
Pamela
only
Anderson
one
one
that
was
hers was the only one that had a title, wasn't it?
Probably.
B.
I think it was.
Yeah, yeah,
I
that's
had watched
fine.
a it was almost like a mini documentary where they were talking to Pamela about all that stuff going
Yeah.
on, and apparently because right after her and Tommy Lee got married, wherever they were at, they just ran around naked all the time.
Yeah.
So
She
hot.
was claiming that the sex tape was people filming them in different points and
Splicing it together.
splicing it all
Uh,
together to
Yeah.
make a sex tape.
If you
Go.
had a home movie, what would you call the title?
Well, it depends on what we were doing and who it was with, and
What would you want to be doing in the video?
I don't know. It depends on. It depends.
Hmm. That's a tough one.
I'm a free agent.
It's just your title, free agent.
Yes, free agent.
So your tape would be like Dining for One.
No. Look,
She's got
see,
Gemma.
it could be. I could do whatever.
She's got Gemma.
Mine would be TNT because this dick is the bomb.
Oh, that's a good one.
Because it's over so quickly.
You're funny. Wendell, stop with vampire.
Do you have a
We're-
vampire, Dina? I don't understand the
No.
joke. Oh, okay.
It's an old bunch of crap. He just
We'll
keeps
have him on eventually, okay?
wanting
Just
to
be
go.
Well, they're
patient.
feeding it
No.
to people in China.
Huh?
You said it's a bunch of crap. I said, well, they're feeding that crap to people in China,
I
apparently.
know. Apparently.
It's crazy.
It's been over a year almost, I guess, for when that came up. Hell.
Since
All
you
right.
pleased a vampire?
Yes.
That's been
God.
20 over 20 years, 25 years ago.
Oh.
We've got to find that guy.
Oh, God.
That's sad. That happened when you were
Funny.
10 years old?
Yes.
She dated a lovely vampire at 10.
Well, so did Kirsten Dunst. And look how she turned out. She turned out
I know.
great.
She's beautiful.
Fair.
Stunning.
Never ages.
True. So,
Hot.
some of our banned movies here. We have A Clockwork Orange.
Never saw it.
That's a good movie.
I haven't seen it either, but I know enough about it.
Yeah, Stanley Kubrick.
Yep.
The guy that filmed the moon landing.
Yep.
Yep.
It was his adaptation of the Anthony Burgess novel, which is, I guess it's pretty much summed up in one line, being the adventures of a young man whose principal interests are non-consensual sex, ultraviolence, and Beethoven.
Oh
my God, this sounds great. I need to go pop that in immediately.
wait, that's not the movie I was thinking about.
Dina was like, that's one of my favorite movies. I watch it every day.
Clockwork
And then you're
Orange.
like,
I was
it's about
thinking about-
non-consensual sex.
No, I was thinking about another movie, actually. Sorry.
So,
I was thinking about a Vietnam movie.
I'm really curious about what movie you're talking about now.
I was thinking about the one, the Vietnam movie. Let me think a minute.
What? How did we get from A Clockwork Orange to Vietnam?
Because
I've never seen it, and I know that that's not even relevant.
I'll have to think of the name of the movie. I don't
It's
know.
not
I'll think
Forrest
about it.
Gump. It's not Full
No,
Metal
no.
Jacket.
It's an older movie. I'll
Let's
think
Kill a
about it.
Mockingbird.
No, it's not about Vietnam.
So let's just say it wasn't the Beethoven that had half of Britain calling for Kubrick's head. A future shock parable about free will. This vivid depiction of a charismatic gang leader gaining instant notoriety for its extreme violence and prolonged scenes of SA. Politicians debated whether the movie's nihilism outweighed any merits it possessed. Newspaper columnists around the world called it everything from misogynistic to fascist. And social critics fretted over whether the movie's cultist fans would become clockwork copycats. After defining the movie for months, Kubrick himself prohibited the movie from being shown in England, where the controversy had reached a fever pitch. It wouldn't be publicly exhibited there for decades.
That movie sounds hot. I need to go look it up.
Well, I mean, the dude ends up getting like.
Don't spoil it for me. I'm gonna watch it.
No, I just remember the scene where his eyes are being held open.
Oh yeah, that's on the cover. That's fine.
Then we have Freaks that came out in 1932.
That was about me.
Same.
Pretty.
To fully understand the traumatizing potency of this Hollywood shocker, first try to imagine a director on the power level of another James Cameron. That's basically what
Oh,
Todd Browning was in 1931 after making Dracula a global box office phenomenon. The time had finally arrived for Browning to advance his long gestating personal project about
Gestating.
yep about unloved carnival people whose code is broken by an insider. To MGM's horror, Browning insisted on using real circus performers with deformities. Infamously, a test screening induced one woman's miscarriage and the threat of a lawsuit. Several scenes involving violent revenge were excised. A 64-minute version made it to theaters, but was quickly dimmed after horrific public reaction. It wasn't till the 1960s that freaks found a sympathetic audience in the counterculture. By then, Browning's career was long ruined.
wow.
Y'all think I'm kidding, but I'm totally gonna just lay in bed and watch these movies tomorrow. It sounds like fun.
I don't. I know you're not kidding.
um, I've heard that one is pretty good, but also partially because I really love American Horror Story, and they took
I
a lot
love. Is that
from.
like Freak Show?
Mhm.
Okay, that's what I was wondering.
I've seen enough. I'll watch a lot of YouTube videos of just run throughs of movies, and from everything I've seen, it has a great ending.
Mm.
Ooh.
Um, then there was Last Tango in Paris in 1972. At the time of its release, the controversy surrounding Bernardo, last name I can't pronounce, erotic drama was mostly contained to the screen. Its perverse eroticism scandalized audiences not accustomed to seeing such frank depictions of sexual power dynamics explored in the realm of a so-called art movie.
Mm.
Decades later, however, revelations about the film's most infamous moment pushed the movie's infamy beyond the cultural mores of the 70s. If you know movies, you know the scene. In an empty Parisian flat, Marlon Brando wrestles co star
Hmm.
Maria Schneider to the ground and does some stuff to her using a stick of butter as lube.
Ooh,
Wow.
that is exciting.
A few
Marlon
years
Brando is so freaking hot. I
a
love
few
him.
years before her death in 2011, Schneider claimed the director, whose name I couldn't pronounce, did not inform her of how far the scene would go beforehand,
Oh.
and said the
Mm-mm.
experience left her feeling essayed.
Mm-hmm.
An account the director more or less confirmed later on, saying he was attempting to produce a reaction of frustration and rage in the actor. It makes an already uncomfortable moment nearly unbearable 50 years on.
Here's the thing,
Yeah.
though. They have a lot of like stuff where it, these movies are just relative to the time. Like the freak thing, saying like 30 years later, it found a sympathetic cult. Because it's
True.
like, you know, everyone talks about how groundbreaking and terrifying the Blair Witch Project was, but
Yeah.
if you watch that movie today, that's the most PG freaking movie I've ever seen in my life. There's no graphic violence, there's no language. It's
Right.
just a shots
There's
up people's
nothing
nose.
scary.
There's nothing
Yeah.
scary. The first see my I was a kid when that came out. So my mom was like, "No, you can't watch it," because everyone was talking about how terrifying it was.
Yeah.
So by the time I was a teenager and I watched it and it
It's
got to
like,
the end and I said, "That's it?"
The
Literally,
hype.
that was it.
The hype on it was and the anticipation of it was probably such a letdown to you. At the
Mhm.
time when it was first uh, marketed, it was supposed to be real found footage.
Real
Yeah,
found footage,
real
yeah.
found footage. But
Yeah.
I
then
can never take it seriously because I think of in Scary Movie when they made fun of it and the
And she was
snot is
dripping
just
the
Yeah,
snot.
pouring
yeah.
down.
Yeah, after seeing that, it's like, "Oh my gosh, please."
I
um,
love it.
But,
Is
shortly
it Kathy
after
O'Terry or Sherry O'Terry?
oh, no,
Cherry O'Terry.
shortly
Yeah,
after its release,
love her.
we found out it wasn't true, it wasn't a true
Yeah, but the
story.
same thing happened with Paranormal Activity too, everyone
No, I don't know,
but see, here's the thing, they said that that was real found footage, but when I went to go see it, I went to see it in theaters because it was
yeah.
generating such a buzz, and my brother and I, we almost asked for a refund because we were like, What was that?
Oh, it really
What?
wasn't that bad.
Seriously? What?"
I'll tell you, if you want a good movie that will kind of keeps you with the anticipation of it, is The Witch.
Oh,
Oh, I
really?
love The Witch. The Witch is
Mm,
good. The
Witch
Witch
yeah.
is
ain't
good.
good.
I love Ari Aster though. I'm a huge Ari
Mm-hmm.
Aster fan. So
Yes.
I
Ari
Midsummer is
Aster,
like a masterpiece.
A24,
Yes. Yeah.
Blumhouse. Yeah.
Blumhouse, yeah. I Midsummer, I think, is such a like, I know it has a cult following, but I still feel like it's vastly underrated by mass society.
Mm-hmm.
Like that movie is a piece of art. Like between horror, between suspense, between visuals, like the writing, everything is just there's layers upon layers. That's a good
Mm-hmm.
movie.
And to to really understand all of it,
You have
like
to
you have to
research.
watch it. Well, you have
Mhm.
to watch it so many times and research, and once you research, you've got to go
Mm.
watch it 50 million more times to
Yeah.
catch all the things you
I love
missed.
movies like
Yeah.
that.
Have you seen it, Dina? Have you seen
No, I haven't.
Midsummer?
I have not
It's
yet.
it's very good. It's a very it's a kind of a long movie, but it's very
Okay.
suspenseful and
Mhm.
it builds and builds and builds. And after you watch it, like when I showed my husband, and I made him watch it, he goes, "What the heck did we just watch?" But then I showed him all these articles about like the story behind it
Uh-huh.
and
Mm-hmm.
like the
What
folklore
this
behind it.
means,
And
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 this
he was
is,
like, it was just
Oh, I'll
mind
have to
blown.
watch it.
It's a very
and
deep, incredible
I've
movie.
I've got to
Awesome.
watch whenever I come across stuff like that because I'll just become engulfed in it and just
Yeah,
like
me
I've got to know
too.
every little
Well,
thing.
yeah, same.
Mhm. Oh, yeah. And I'm
But
trying so hard because Facebook listens to me, and so I've been getting ads recently because they
Yes.
recently came out with a box set of, like, the original script for Midsummer
Oh,
and,
wow.
uh,
like a golden DVD and all this crap, and it's like $250, and
And
I'm
it's,
like,
like,
"I
pulling
can't."
at you, and you're like, "I
Facebook
want
needs
it, but
Yeah.
I
to
can't,
It's so
but
listen to
I
me.
expensive.
can't." Yeah.
So
Facebook needs
expensive.
Facebook
Yeah.
needs to listen to me more when it comes to The Shining.
Oh, I
Show me
love The
more stuff
Shining.
about The Shining.
I love The Shining.
I do too.
It's one of my favorites.
Sorry, we went
But
off on a tangent. I just
No,
yeah.
it's okay. We can do
um,
that.
but no, like with the witch, when you don't know what happens with the beginning, and
Mhm.
then you get like the last 5 minutes of
Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute, wait a minute. Have I seen The Witch? Is that about the tell me a little bit about the premise of it.
it's a are they a Puritan family?
I would say it's
Puritan
like a
family.
period piece, like
Yeah, yeah.
Puritan
They get outcast from their
group,
yeah, their town
village.
per se,
Village
their
or whatever.
village,
Yeah.
and they have to go move, and something happens to a couple of the kids, and
One of the kids
then
disappears.
something happens to one of the other kids, and then you've got the creepy twins, and then you've got the goat, and then the main girl ends up like,
Anna Taylor-Joy,
yes,
horror queen.
yes, and then the ending, which I will not tell you if you haven't
Oh,
seen it
I
because it's the
love the
best
ending.
part.
I don't know
Yes,
if I've
Yeah, I
seen it or
love the
not.
ending.
I feel like if you had seen it, you would know.
But it sounds familiar.
Dost thou want
I'll
to
have to
live deliciously?
Deliciously. Mm.
I'll have to look it up.
Yeah,
There's
you
something
definitely.
Speaking
similar to
of,
there's something similar to that I've seen,
yeah, it has like
but
a very familiar kind of premise to some other things.
yeah.
But speaking of like movies that are so deep and have such a cultural impact. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but Everything Everywhere All at Once, to me, that is like, have you guys seen that movie?
No, I'm
I
gonna
haven't
watch
seen
it.
it, but I use
That
that
is
quote all the
w-
time.
it
it's
is
just
one of
it's
it
just
is
everything everywhere all at once.
truly, when I say, like, if you liked Midsummer, this movie will blow your freaking mind. It is
It's on
the
my list.
impact that this movie will have for generations. It is hands down, since the year 2000, the best movie that has come out.
Oh
It
wow,
is it deserves every word it got.
awesome.
The only thing that I know about it was because I had run across a video on Facebook of the main lady that's in it.
I love her.
Mhm. Michelle
Um,
Yeoh.
Yeah.
yes. And it was talking about how she wanted to start in like doing her own stunts, and she really looked up to Jackie Chan, and he was kind of
Mhm.
really nasty to her to start because they didn't think that a
Mm.
woman could do all that, but she really
Yeah.
proved herself, and he ended up having a lot of respect for her, and for her to win. Did she win an Oscar for that?
Yeah, and
Yeah, I
so
think
did
so.
the guy, the main male lead who plays her
Yes.
husband is the kid who was in Karate Kid, and he
Mm.
and
cried when he got his
and
award.
oh,
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 okay.
he was in the Goonies. He's
yeah,
the
in
little
the
kid in the
Goonies, yeah.
Goonies.
The little
Yes.
boy.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it.
It's when I tell you that movie deserves every single, like, when you see it, it has the complexity of Midsummer, but it also has action, it has
Mhm.
comedy, it has, just the artistic, what they achieved with that film is going to go down in history.
That's
It
what
is
I'll
one of
be.
the greatest films I've ever seen,
That's what I'll be
ever.
watching tomorrow. Besides
Yeah,
Bridgerton.
yes. I might be watching it too. I watch it probably at least once every 6 months because it
I
is one of the best movies of the century.
I have
I,
such a list of movies that I
me
need to
too. Oh my
catch up
gosh.
on. I'm always adding new stuff.
Me too. I just
So
started watching Bridgerton today, and I'm loving it so far.
I want to
Wow.
because I've seen so many different things, like cuz I get clips all the time of what is it, Queen Charlotte?
Yes.
And then I see sad things between the two of them, and I'm like, "No, I can't watch it."
Oh my gosh.
Hi,
It's
Kit
awesome.
Crash. Welcome.
Welcome, Kit Crash. Thank you for
Hello.
tuning in. We're having a great night. Hope you are too.
Hope you're doing great.
Hoping to get my kitty crash later too.
Ooh.
Ooh.
So to continue on here, which I thought was an interesting one. Um, are you guys a fan of Monty Python?
Yeah, but not a word for word fan.
I saw it once when I was like 12. I saw one of them, but I haven't seen it since.
So Life of Brian was banned. So Monty Python's Flying Circus would make fun of the Queen without attracting trouble, no problem. But the
Yeah.
minute they make a satire about an average Nazarene layabout mistaken for the Messiah,
Oh
its
Lord.
members started getting death threats.
Oh my goodness.
Picket lines followed while Christian organizations complained that mocking Jesus was a mortal sin. The irony was that Python was actually ridiculing religious zealots.
That what?
Yeah. And
That what?
that it
They,
was ridiculing like super religious people. It was making fun of them
Oh, well, it probably
but
was.
because it
they,
was like a parody of religion.
yeah,
Yeah.
Have you seen the movie? It reminds me a lot. Have you seen the movie of The Invention of Lying? Ricky
a
Gervais.
long time ago.
Yeah.
Long
Yeah.
time
I
ago.
thought it was a really interesting concept. I don't know how I
Mm-hmm.
feel about it, but it definitely did make me think
Mm-hmm.
um about those things, and I like honesty anyway, so I just
Mm-hmm.
like the idea of how great would it be if we could just I've actually started practicing it with people where, like, even my husband, I'm like, I love you to the moon and back, but you're annoying the living crap out of me right now. Can
Yeah.
you go away,
Yeah. I've
please?
tried to be honest like that. I try to be. It's hard. Some people will still
Just grate on your nerves.
See,
Yeah.
I value honesty though because I'm not a very self-aware person. So when people
Mhm.
are honest with me and they're like,
Yeah.
"Hey, you were kind of aggressive during that." And I'm like,
Oh,
"I had no idea. Thank you
Yeah.
for telling me because if you
yeah.
didn't tell me, I just would have not known and I would have said something like that again."
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I appreciate honesty because then it makes me feel like I can adapt and
Mhm.
I don't want everyone being like, "Oh, I freaking hate that guy."
I do too. I mean,
Tell
I
me.
like as long as people are tactful and not like come across as a,
Right.
you know,
But no, I have
bag
that
of
problem
a
too,
bag of
where I'm just doing
a
my own.
bag. A bag of
Like,
bags.
uh,
You know what I mean?
a bag of bags, yes.
You know that like Snapchat location thing or whatever? One of my friends yesterday messaged me and he meant to put in, "Hey, you look really far." But his autocorrected it to
You look
fat
really fat.
and he didn't correct it and it said, "Hey, you look really fat." And I said, "Oh my
What?
god." And he said, "No, no, I meant far. I meant far."
No, you didn't. You meant fat.
I
Is
know,
this
like
what you
that.
really think of me?
Yeah, I know. I'm fat working on it. Hey, great news. As
I,
of yesterday morning, I've lost 22 pounds this year since
Oh,
January.
that's great.
I know.
congratulations.
Congrats.
I know. Just 100 more to go.
I found some of it.
I
Freaking
would have said, you
potato chips.
a-hole, I work at a bakery. What do you expect?
Oh,
I know. Thank you. Thank you. Do you know how hard it is when I'm trying to lose weight? And they're like, "Here, try our new
yes.
strawberry and cream croissant." Okay.
I worked at a
Well, you
Like,
cookie
can't say
store
no.
one
yeah. How
time.
can I
It's
say no
so
to that?
hard.
That was like me at
So
my first
hard.
job, like working at it was like a little diner,
Mm.
and everything was so good. and and
The
dude, when
the facility that I got my first job at, they had a Subway inside the facility, and Subway is actually very unhealthy for you.
mhm.
And
Is it?
I not only oh yeah, not only did I love Subway, but I loved their pizzas, and it was just
Mhm.
right there. So
Yeah.
how can I not? Yeah,
With their delicious yoga mat foam in their bread and all that.
I
yeah.
thought
I
Subway
I
was
thought it
supposed
tasted
to
great.
be. I love Subway bread.
Yeah,
I
do you
can
know that
just
it's actually speaking of banned, Subway bread is actually in one of the countries, they legally cannot call it bread because the ingredients in it do not classify as bread. So this is true. You can Google this. This isn't
I
something I read on
believe you.
Facebook. Like they literally legally Subway in that country cannot call it bread because it has so much sugar and stuff in it. It's
Oh my
classified as
gosh.
cake. Yeah.
Give me a
Yeah.
cake sandwich.
Well, that's what I don't know if you've ever read those articles about
Hey.
when
give me a
Europeans
cake
come over to
sandwich with a
America.
turkey and everything,
Yeah.
please.
Oh, well, that sounds so
When
gross.
when Europeans come over from America, they have articles about like what was the biggest culture shock, and almost all of them say the bread.
The
The
bread.
bread is
Yeah.
insanely sweet. Like it's like a cake. They're like in Europe, it's bread, so it just tastes like bread. But they're like over here, it tastes like it's sweet.
I'll watch a lot of those videos of like um how this one product is in America versus how it is
Yeah.
that apparently
Hmm.
the chocolate like over in the
Mhm.
UK is so much better than it is here.
Yeah.
Oh, it is. Oh
I've
my god.
heard
I had
that.
one of my friends go over to Switzerland to the actual factory where
Mhm.
they make Lindt chocolates, and they make
Oh,
it differently in Switzerland than they do here. And so
really?
she brought it back and it tastes completely different. Whatever we're getting is the cheap stuff. Whatever they got in Switzerland, it is like
Man,
Well, because
it was so good.
I
they
love
So
put
good.
mint chocolate too.
they put so much like so many different additives in the chocolate to
Yeah.
make it last longer
Yeah.
too.
There's a lot
Yeah.
of cocoa butter, like I don't know if it is over there. Like we get a lot of the oils and
We
Mhm.
things.
got palm oil. Yeah.
Palm oil,
Mhm.
So
yeah.
Kit Crash said that country with the bread is Ireland. So yeah, like
Oh,
Ireland has literally said they can't call it bread there. That's
oh,
so
okay.
funny.
Thank you,
But I
Kit.
love watching those TikToks where people come over from they come over to America and they literally film themselves going to Walmart for the first time. And they're like,
Yeah,
I've heard so much about this place called
yeah,
Walmart. And they like go in and they're like, "Oh my god, look at this thing of Cheetos! It's as big as my head."
I know.
It's so fun to watch. I love it.
Like,
It
no,
is.
that's the small one though.
I
I know
know.
that's our mini. They're like, "What?"
Yes.
And they talk about how our Coke sizes, like when we get drinks at
Yeah.
Wendy's, like or McDonald's, a
Yeah.
large
Like
is
they're
like
so huge.
boom, but over in Europe, a large is like this. And so they're
Yeah.
like, "What? This is a large. This is a small. This is what I drink as an extra large in my country." I
Wow.
can't do accents, obviously.
That's crazy. No
Whenever
wonder.
I'm trying to practice, I always say bottle of water,
Oh,
Bottle water.
bottle of
mm.
water. I can't do it. I can't do accents. I'm just white.
Me too.
It's I don't know if you've seen her videos on Facebook, but it's a girl from over there, and her like page is called the Nursery Nurse,
Hmm.
The
where she does
nursery
like,
nurse.
yeah, she does videos that were like different things that it started as different things that as like a what would be for us like a daycare worker.
Hmm.
It started off as things that she had experienced, and now it's like she's got this long running plot of things that have happened with the different people in the nursery, which is great. But no, like I was watching that so often that I would start referring to uh well, yeah, I've got to go to hospital to go get my
Yeah.
blood work done. And like I went to trivia one night, and there was like a question on there of like what a, and I couldn't tell you now. I think it's called a dummy, but what a
Oh,
what
the
a
baby
pacifier is
pacifier.
called.
Yeah.
And I was like, it's a dummy, I know it.
Called a binky.
Okay, we gotta take a break real quick. Shot.
But we will be right back.
Yes.
When you get the notification para or Normal Guys YouTube is live.
And we're back.
Hey, we are. We are back. Whoop,
Actually,
whoop.
I have to run, but I wanted to say good
All
night
Oh,
right.
don't go.
to you, beautiful. I know I have to work.
Ooh.
Do, do.
Go
Gotta go
enjoy
work my
your
corner.
You gotta make the donuts.
I'm gonna make some donut holes. You know what I mean,
Oh
girl?
yeah.
go get your strawberry croissants.
That's right.
Ooh.
All right, ladies, have a wonderful time.
You too.
Mwah.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye. And then there were two.
So I thought I would partially stray away from something that it was something that I was literally thinking about while I was in the shower. Um I have some great products that I have tried this week that I feel like
Oh.
everybody needs to know about.
Oh, let's hear them.
All right, Kyle, I need to share my screen.
Oh, there we go.
So, if anybody out there is like me, I can never find a like all regular women's deodorant just doesn't work great for me. And I love the smell of anything that smells like men's cologne. And this Dove Men Plus Care Sandalwood and Orange deodorant is like the best thing that I have ever come across. And I like a women's deodorant to me just doesn't last very long. I don't know if you have that problem too,
I don't anymore.
but it just had never lasted worth a darn for me. And this stuff is like the best, and it
Okay.
smells so good.
They probably have a shower wash like that too, huh?
They do. I actually bought it for Travis. But it smells so good, and it's like $5 at Walmart.
Awesome. Thanks.
And then I also tried this. It is a detoxifying underarm mask by
Oh,
Mega Babe. It's called Happy Pits,
I got happy
and
kids.
it's got this cool applicator
Oh,
tip that you just have to squeeze it, and you almost kind of put it on like deodorant, and
love it.
I just wear it through my like through my shower and then rinse it off at the end.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm also somebody that's like super paranoid about having smelly pits.
Mm-hmm.
I can't I can't speak to whether it has brightened my underarm skin. As it does say it has a no mess applicator tip, keeps fingers clean. It does. It's supposed to cleanse and brighten the underarm skin. Can't speak to that. I do feel like it cleanses and it does help you stay fresher for longer. But it's supposed to be detoxifying. It's got hold on. It's got charcoal, glycolic acid, and vitamin C. It smells super good. And I guess it's basically like a charcoal, it's just like a charcoal mask for your
Yeah.
underarms.
Is that at Walmart too?
That is at Walmart also. That's
Nice.
about like $6 or $7.
Okay.
Um, and then for my girlies out there that or men, I'm sure men have the same problem.
Mm-hmm.
I have such an issue with oily hair. Um, and where I have dyed my hair so much,
Mm-hmm.
I try to limit how much I wash it during the week.
Yeah.
Um, so I only try to like wash it once a week, and I'll touch it up with like you know
Dry shampoo
dry
or.
shampoo,
Mm-hmm.
but it doesn't seem to do a whole lot for me. So I was looking online, and as much as I don't particularly care for L'Oreal,
Mm-hmm.
they have this line that's called Elvive
Mm-hmm.
Hyaluron Plus Pure,
Yeah.
which the first thing is it's a oil erasing scalp serum. It's a 6% exfoliating complex with hyaluronic acid, and it says it's for dry or it's for oily scalp and roots,
Mm-hmm.
and you just put this on different parts of your hair.
Mm-hmm.
I was worried that it would take up like a whole lot, but it really doesn't. You really don't have to use a whole lot of it.
Yeah.
And you put it on like I say about 5 minutes before you're gonna get in the shower,
Mm-hmm.
and then just wash your hair last because it's got to sit for like 10 to 15 minutes. It says you should,
Yeah.
and then I'll use the same uh, Hyaluron Plus Pure 72-hour purifying shampoo. It's supposed to help remove oil and impurities, and because a lot of the times you have like oily scalp, but the ends of your hair are dry.
Right.
So it's supposed to help with the oily roots and scalp and help your
Moisturize the ends.
yeah. And I forgot to stick it in the shower today, so I didn't get to try it, but I
Mm-hmm.
also got the conditioner to go with it.
Mm-hmm.
But for all the thick-haired girls out there like me, I have a tendency to like to go to bed with my hair wet, and a
Shouldn't
lot
do.
of the times cuz I what?
You should not do that.
I can't help it.
I know it's hard not to.
And I use like those little turby twist
Oh
things
yeah,
instead of
yeah,
using a towel. So
yeah,
a lot of the times I'll end up dozing off with that on my head too.
yeah.
And my hair is a frizz ball in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
So I haven't tried this conditioner yet to go with it, but this has been my favorite conditioner to use.
Mm-hmm.
It's by It's called Heritage, and instead of HER, it's HAIR by Mindy McKnight. It's called Tame the Mane. It's smoothing conditioner
Mm-hmm.
for dry and frizzy hair. And I have two of them. One is the Tame the Mane, and I forget what the other one is. And I'll kind of mix half and half. And I'll tell you, it does so much to not make my hair so frizzy. And it's sulfate free, paraben free, silicone free. gluten-free. That's gluten-free for your hair.
Wow.
Color safe, vegan, cruelty-free, all that good stuff. But so far, this will be the second time of using the
Indeed.
the scalp serum and
Mhm.
the shampoo together. And I'll tell you, for of just trying it for the first week, and I had showered on Saturday and left my hair, didn't touch
Mhm.
it,
Right.
and it was not until yesterday that I noticed that my hair started getting oily.
That's really good because mine used to be really oily when I was younger too, and I had to wash it every day or it would just like be a grease pit. It was terrible. My skin was oily, my hair was oily.
Well,
It was
I
just
have the same thing. I've got like I say it's the weirdest thing to say, but I've got like the oiliest eyelids,
yeah.
and I've got like my little regimen for that.
Mhm.
But this has been a game changer for me.
Yeah.
Like I said, I had been using like I had used one of those companies where you could like make your own
Right.
uh specific to you shampoo
Yeah.
conditioner mix, and I was hesitant to try something different, but as soon as
Mhm.
I saw like everything it had in it, I was like, okay, I gotta try it, and it's
Yeah.
been great.
That's good. I've
So then, go ahead.
I've heard that the Elvive or El what is it? Elvive, Elvive, whatever that
Elvive,
line
I think.
is good.
Yeah,
Uh,
I can't say that it doesn't have a strong smell
yeah.
that I've noticed, but it
Mhm.
certainly doesn't smell bad.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you, gosh darn, it works.
That's good.
And
That's a
then my main thing that I am super excited about that I
mhm.
got to try is it's called Smoosh.
What's that?
So I was highly influenced by a Facebook ad that I came across where I found this. So it is a body scrubber,
Ooh,
but the soap goes right in the middle.
I'll be darned. Hmm.
And then because if you see on the picture I have on screen here is what it looks like when you're looking down at the bristles.
Yeah.
If you see how the soap has got a little bump
Yeah.
out of the top, well, it's got that same bump in the bottom because it connects down onto the scrubber.
Okay.
And if you look at that part where the
The
guy's got
handle.
that in between his fingers,
Yeah.
you twist it so
Uh-huh.
that as you use the soap, you can twist it. And then once you get down to using it all and you're going to
Mhm.
put on another one,
Mhm.
you
You
can
just
pop
pop it back
that
on there.
piece on top of the new one.
So you have to buy different soap for this smush
So you
uh,
buy
thing.
the 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 body smoosh itself, and then you can get on the starter package where
Oh, there's
you've got these four
ooh.
scents to choose from, which are amber, santal, cedar, bergamot, sea orchid, and citrus ocean. And
Hmm.
I believe I got it was either sea salt orchid or citrus ocean because it gives you a good description on each of the scents. I want to say
Yeah.
it was citrus ocean because
That
it's whiter color.
that would be the
Um,
one I would choose probably.
well, it's got more of a fresh linen-y smell to it.
Yeah.
So I went with that one, but they also, because these are the main ones whenever you go to click on, this is what they have.
Uh-huh.
But they also had this fig scent,
Oh,
but it doesn't smell like
figs.
fruit.
I
It
was gonna say I'm not really a fruity type person,
well,
but
I was hesitant until I read the description,
yeah.
but it again, like I said, I love things that smell like men's cologne, and it smells like men's cologne to me.
Ah.
And so for $10, you get 2 of those body bars.
Oh, okay.
And I'll tell you, it lathers up good. It makes you
Uh-huh.
feel clean. It
Hmm.
smells like I can still smell it.
Oh,
Granted,
really?
I showered at like 7:30, but I can still smell it.
Yeah.
It smells really good. It feels really good. And just for craps and giggles, I tried some of it on my face to see what it would do.
Uh-huh.
But they also, for our sensitive peeps out there, they do also
Hmm.
have an unscented one, and you can also get a shave soap to use for your legs or your arms or your pits or whatever
Nice.
you need to shave.
Very nice.
So we can stop sharing now.
I like that.
So I was super excited to try that. It's been sitting in there since the middle of the week, and I was like, "Oh,
Mm-hmm.
I'm so excited to try this!" And I was like, "Oh, I got to share this stuff with everybody because I'm just whenever I find something I like, I'm just like I've got to tell everybody about it."
Yeah.
Like whenever I tried the stuff for my hair,
Uh-huh.
and I also got into looking up about fire cider. I had to tell like my boss and everybody about it
Yeah.
because I've had the worst case of like going into the new year sniffles all the
Oh,
time,
gosh, yeah.
and I have the worst allergies. But I'll tell you, when I started taking that one tablespoon of it in the
Of what?
morning, it's fire cider.
I don't know what that is. I didn't hear
Um,
you if you told about it. Because
I
my nose has been like running every day when I go outside.
I don't think I have here. I know I was talking about it at work,
Oh.
but there is a girl on TikTok and Facebook who is from Kentucky.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, Kit Crash, the citrus smells very good.
Mm.
Smells very, very good.
Yeah.
But the girl from Kentucky, she's the Appalachian forager.
Mm-hmm.
You'll have to look her up.
I actually think I followed her not long ago.
So the fire cider, I think, is basically you take the like cheapest vodka you can get and you're
Mm-hmm.
letting stuff ferment in it.
Uh-huh.
And I searched and searched and searched on Amazon to get one that was the closest to what her recipe was.
Uh-huh.
And you've got to have like apple cider vinegar with the mother,
Yeah. Got
honey,
that.
turmeric, garlic, onion, um, oranges, lemons, uh, horseradish, and she threw a couple other things in there that she
Lord.
had. But it's basically just a little shot to knock that out of you.
That seems like it would knock anything out of you.
Yeah.
All that stuff in it.
So the one that I got was off of Amazon. And I'll share the link with you. I've got a couple other things from them in my cart.
Yeah.
But it's naturally sourced in small batches out of Washington,
Uh-huh.
from their bees,
Mm-hmm.
and they do a whole lot. And that was the only one that I found that was the closest recipe. The only different thing that they added was chili powder to theirs, and you
Uh-huh.
can tell.
Oh, yeah. It's good
Um,
for you, though.
yeah, it's good for you. It just
Yeah. Has
oh,
that
and
been...
ginger. That's the other thing
Oh, I
that
love
that
ginger.
kicks it
Yeah.
to you.
Yeah.
Um, it's spicy. It's spicy, but
Mm-hmm.
it that first day that I took it, I was like, yeah, I'm feeling pretty darn good today. I just got like a little bottle
Yeah.
to start off to see how I liked it, and I'm like, man, this stuff don't taste the best, but man, it works.
Yeah. Sure, I don't know if I could stand having onion and uh
Well, the good thing about it is that the aftertaste doesn't last long
it's not on your breath
because
all day.
no, no.
Mm.
Because I was worried about that too, because I had tried something that was very similar, but it
Mhm.
was supposed to be like a natural remedy. It didn't have all the same like spicy stuff in it,
Yeah.
but it was supposed to be a natural remedy to help with like acid reflux and stuff like
Yeah.
that. Now, man, you want to talk about something that lingered
Oh.
with
Ooh.
the apple cider vinegar and that,
Yeah.
like it had onion in it too, or
Mm.
it was either onion or garlic, and then you could just.
Yeah.
But once you make sure you've got your drink ready, like
Yeah.
take the shot off the spoon and take a couple drinks of my drink, and it's gone.
Yeah.
But
I can
it's fully worth it.
I can drink honey and the apple cider vinegar with a little shot of hot water. I mean, like about that much if I want
Yeah,
to.
yeah, it's because of where it's got the mother in it, you've got to
Yeah.
shake it up every
Oh
so
yeah.
often and watch where you keep it,
Mhm.
because I'll see where it's getting to be that time of the year and the ants start coming in.
Yeah.
They'll be trying to crawl on the bottle, and I've got
Yeah.
to keep it washed off. But
Right.
it's definitely worth it. It'll knock those sniffles out of you for sure.
Cool.
But how about we get into the
Excuse me.
band music?
Okay.
This Travis actually gave me a really good idea for this. Um, was the Filthy 15.
Oh yeah.
But there were a couple more while I was looking up everything that I thought were interesting, because along like with the books and everything, a big thing is about, them trying to ban or censor things because of the First
Mhm.
Amendment.
Right.
But um songs, I guess, because of there being any obscenity, isn't protected by the First Amendment. So the one that I thought was the funniest was The Real Slim Shady by Eminem.
Mhm.
So the FCC apparently fined two radio stations $7,000 for playing Eminem's breakout hit "The Real Slim Shady." The clean version of the song, intended for radio, doesn't have outright banned words that can't be broadcast, but the agency said the song included sexual innuendo not allowed under broadcast rules.
What?
It updated earlier that year. The FCC later dropped the fine, but in 2002, his Real Slim Shady came out in 2000.
Oh,
His
okay.
2002 follow-up song "Without Me," Eminem flat out called out the agency and said
Yep.
the FCC won't let me be, or let me be me, so let me see. They tried to shut me down on MTV, but it feels so empty without me.
Yep. I remember those lyrics.
Yep. And I was kind of like going back over it in my head, and I was like, yeah, okay, I can kind of see how they probably wouldn't like some of it, but
Yeah, they
you
didn't
know,
like a lot of it.
yeah. Um, so one of the earliest ones I could find was Bill Haley and his Comets' "Rock Around the Clock" from 1955.
Mhm.
Local officials in Memphis banned the movie Blackboard Jungle. It was one of the first films to prominently feature a rock and roll song, "Rock Around the Clock" by Bill Haley and his Comets. The lyrics include "We're gonna rock around the clock tonight." Themselves weren't explicit or obscene, but the government officials feared the song and movie would inspire juvenile delinquency.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Isn't it weird how times have changed?
Well, just the little things that people are
Mhm.
concerned are gonna, I don't know, maybe look into all the songs that were about drugs and things like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Yes, they do.
Another
Yep.
one was from '68, which was the Rolling Stones' "Street Fighting Man." Um, as Chicago mayor from 53 to 76, Richard J. Daley and his union bosses largely ran the city in all aspects of political, culture, and social life. That included radio stations, when the 1968 Democratic National Convention came to Chicago at the heights of the Vietnam War and civil rights protest era, Daley banned local radio stations from playing the Rolling Stones song Street Fighting Man, fearing it would spur violence.
Huh.
Counterculture rock band MC5 performed heated protest songs during the war in Lincoln Park during the convention. After the performance, the tense protests turned violent. Police and protesters clashed in the following days.
Wow. That's crazy.
Just some of the such petty things. Now when we get into the filthy 15 itself, that's when
Yeah.
it starts getting petty.
Yeah.
Another one was in 75, which was Loretta Lynn's The Pill.
Yes.
The 1970s were a time of great change legally and socially, including around women's reproductive rights. 2 years after the Supreme Court legalized abortion nationwide in Roe v. Wade, country singer Loretta Lynn released The Pill, about a woman's right to use birth control. Many country music radio stations, often playing for a more socially conservative audience, refused to play the song.
Wow. Isn't that's so strange, because
Yep.
she was a sweetheart of country music, and then they
Right over here from West by God, Virginia.
yeah, and they tried to keep her off the radio. That's crazy.
And then one not so what's the word? Not so surprising. Was 1981's Olivia Newton-John Physical.
Yeah.
Radio station banned the song because of its sexual innuendos, such as "Let Me Hear Your Body Talk." The video, themed around multiple men working out in a gym with Newton-John, includes two men holding hands and walking away suggestively. Despite the pushback, it was among the most popular songs in the 80s and helped launch a new phase of her career.
Yep.
And you will notice that with the majority of these, that once they try to ban them, it helps out these
They get
people's
more
career a
popular.
lot.
Yeah.
Another one which I thought was interesting, and I absolutely can't stand this song because there are so many different noises and things going on in the song that it drives me insane. But it's called Paper Planes by MIA.
Yeah.
British rapper MIA has courted censorship and banned several times. Her 2000 song Paper Planes features prominent gunshots in the chorus, which caused MTV to censor the sound while playing the music video.
Mm-hmm.
CBS, the late night show with David Letterman, also cut out the sound during her live performance. And she also had another song band called Born Free in 2010. MIA.
MIA, okay.
In 2010, YouTube banned the music video for Born Free due to its extended scenes of graphic violence. YouTube later allowed the video behind an age verified wall for people age 18 and older.
Wow.
But I used to have those, like, whenever we used to have, like, DirecTV and stuff, I used to have those, like, music channels.
Yeah.
That I would just keep on at night because the screen kept black, but it played music.
Mm-hmm.
And that song would play so often, and yep, Kit Crash's got it. The harder you try to suppress something, the more people will look for it.
Right.
And that's especially what happened with the Filthy 15.
Yeah.
But I didn't see anything redeeming about the song, but there was just so much going on, so many different sounds, and it just annoyed the living crap out of me. And a not so surprising one from 2013 was Robin Thicke's Blurred Lines for reasons I'm sure don't need to be spelled out. And it was apparently called the most controversial song of the decade. Only 3 years into that decade.
Yeah. Did you ever have you ever heard about when John Denver and Frank Zappa and
Oh,
Dee Snider
we're
went to
getting ready to
Congress?
get into that.
Oh, okay.
Yep, that's what we're getting ready
That
to
was
get
such
into.
an awesome. They made such awesome speeches. It's so good.
And this one really surprised me, which gets back into country music. And part of it, I guess I see, but I'm looking at it as a song, not the group itself. But from 2003, the Chicks Traveling Soldier, known at the time as the Dixie Chicks.
Yeah.
So apparently, because of the scene that they made post 9/11, saying that they were ashamed to be from Texas.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It had caused criticism and backlash from country music fans and executives.
Mm-hmm.
And the song was quickly pulled from the radio, which I absolutely love that song. I think it's a great song.
Me too.
But stores stopped selling their music, and apparently angry people organized gatherings to burn or run over their CDs with tractors.
Yes, they did.
Some other interesting ones here were Lola from 1971 by the Kinks.
I love that song.
I do too. But I think also because it makes me think of Weird Al.
Oh,
doing his parody Yoda.
Yeah.
So surprisingly, the reason that the BBC banned singer Ray Davies' tale of ambiguous lust wasn't the subject matter as such, despite detailing a coming-of-age moment in which the narrator is shocked, then accepted by the subject of his boozy affection's gender. The song was pulled up because of the offending lyric where they drink champagne and it tastes like Coca-Cola.
Oh my goodness. That's so stupid. That's such a cop-out.
The BBC's strict product placement rules meant that Lola wasn't played on the radio, hindering its chances of becoming a hit. It was decided that Davies would replace the name of the offending drink with the generic cherry cola. Unfortunately, the Kinks were on tour in the States at the time, and the master tapes were in the UK. Davies boarded a plane back to the UK after a gig in Minnesota. Had to go to the overdub. Didn't quite manage it, so he flew back for the gig in Chicago, after which he returned to London, where he finally nailed it. The controversial song ruled the airwaves. The Kinks had their biggest hit of the year, and presumably Ray put his feet up for a bit.
Yeah, Kit Crash said they remember the Chicks one, and it really blew up. And they did take a break for a while until their song came out, "Not Ready to Make Nice," and I think they won a Grammy or some Grammys for that song.
That's a good song too. I like that one.
It is. I really like their music. And
I like some of them, but Traveling Soldier has always been
it's been one of my favorites too. Katie liked it. She was little too.
So some other small ones here were the Rolling Stones' "I Can't Get No Satisfaction." Mick Jagger once complained that critics didn't even understand the dirtiest line in the song, but it was controversial enough to create outcry at the time of its release.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that this one wasn't bigger on the list, but If You Seek Amy by Britney Spears.
Yeah, I was really surprised. I think a lot of people didn't get that, didn't catch it.
Hear the chorus in a particular way, and you're hearing Britney spell out one of the 7 words you're never supposed to say in the U.S. airwaves.
Yeah.
Another one was In the Air Tonight by Phil Collins. Clear Channel Communications banned the classic after the events of 9/11, worried that any song related to air might remind listeners of the World Trade Center attacks.
Oh, bull hockey.
It had previously been banned by the BBC during the Persian Gulf War in the mid-90s, when tensions were high in the Middle East for similar reasons.
That's ridiculous.
So, and we will get into the filthy 15 here. So, these particular songs were declared obscene in America. The designation of the Filthy 15 was part of a backlash campaign that ended with the imposition of the sticker here. That is the lovely background of the show today, the parental advisory, the warning of explicit lyrics. Yet the controversy over these dangerous songs remains a cultural talking point, and as of May 2018, award-winning composer Nicole Lindsay toured a show about the controversy, including a performance in London. Though the debate over what is acceptable in print was nothing new, Cole Porter jokes about writers who only use 4-letter words in Anything Goes in 1934. A national dispute over offensive lyrics started in 1983 when Prince released his groundbreaking album Purple Rain. Because the Gore family was not happy about it.
No, they were not.
So, good old Miss Tipper Gore, wife of Senator Al Gore, bought a copy of the record for her 11-year-old daughter. She described her ensuing outrage in her book, which I think we'll have to do a review on sometime.
Oh, we should do a review on it.
Her book, Raising PG Kids in an X-Rated Society.
Oh, that wasn't quite, well, maybe Darling Nikki was kind of X-rated. Close. It was probably R-rated.
And in the book, she's describing what happened when mother and daughter listened to the track Darling Nikki, which includes a line about a sex fiend masturbating with a magazine. Yep. Gore wrote, the vulgar lyrics embarrassed both of us. At first I was stunned, but then I was mad. So your 11-year-old was embarrassed about that?
Oh, yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, together with 3 other prominent conservative housewives, Susan Baker, wife of Treasury Secretary James Baker, Pam Hauer, wife of Raymond Hauer, a real estate developer who was active in the Republican Party, and Sally, I think it's Nevius. I'm just going to call her Sally Devious.
Okay.
Whose husband John was appointed Washington City Council chairman by Nixon. Tipper formed the Parents Music Resource Center, which will from now on be referred to as PMRC. And they compiled the Filthy 15, a list of songs they found most objectionable, which of course Prince topped the list.
Of course.
And the PMRC then lobbied hard and rallied support among PTAs in school. And by August of 85, 19 record companies had agreed to put parental guidance, explicit lyrics, labels on certain albums. The PMRC even devised its own porn rock rating system
What?
with an X for profane or sexually explicit lyrics, O for occult references, DA for lyrics about drugs and alcohol, and V for violent content.
Yep.
Cyndi Lauper's song She Bop, for example, had the PMRC's panties in a knot because of the filthy lyric about picking up good vibrations.
Oh, Lord.
So, on September 19th of 85, the Senate's Committee on Commerce, Science, and Transportation held a hearing about the need to put warning labels on albums. The PMRC put forward their case, and 3 musicians provided testimony. Frank Zappa said, "If it looks like censorship and it smells like censorship, it's censorship. No matter whose wife is talking about it."
Yeah.
Dee Snider, lead singer of heavy metal band Twisted Sister, argued that it was a straightforward infringement on civil liberties. And I was disappointed to see that it was not in this article. But Travis told me a great fact that apparently Tipper was reading out lyrics to the song to Dee Snider, and she was like, "Well, what do you think this means? What do you think
Yes.
this means?" And he was like, "Well, you just have a dirty mind."
Yes. Oh, the stuff is shoot. Their testimonies are on YouTube and they are amazing. I mean, it's just
I'll have to look it
iconic.
up. And then, to everyone's surprise, the third musician was John Denver. Snyder recalled, "Gotta give John Denver credit. His testimony was one of the most scathing because they fully expected he was such a Mom's American Pie, John Denver Christmas special fresh scrubbed guy that he would be on the side of censorship. When he brought up, 'I liken this to the Nazi book burnings. You should have seen them start running for the hills.' His testimony was the most powerful in many ways."
It was awesome. They all are amazing.
But despite Denver's intervention, the PMRC got their way and stickers were introduced. However, it didn't necessarily work out the way they wanted. And then we bring in the Streisand effect.
Yeah.
Heavy metal bands on the list received a sales and publicity boost. And the sort of lyrics that followed in rock, rap, and even country music suggested that the group was fighting a losing battle, of which they were.
Yep.
Not that they see it that way. Suzanne Baker recently told Time magazine that it still gives her a smile when she sees a parental advisory sticker and she knows she helped make that happen.
Doesn't do anything.
Nope. The campaign did a lot of good, she insisted. Perhaps all that Tipper and her gang ultimately achieved was curating an awesome mixtape of 15 filthy songs for rebellious teenagers of the late 80s. So, first on that list, of course, we've got Prince, Darling Nikki from 1984. Prince's song from Purple Rain was actually written from the standpoint of a boy who was trying to humiliate a girlfriend who starts working for a rival. It was the reference to a girl masturbating that particularly enraged Gore. Looking back on the row in 2004, Prince said simply, "Times were different back then." The album has been certified 13 times platinum and has sold more than 25 million copies worldwide. So,
wow.
Good for you, Tipper. Good for you. Number 2 on that list was Sugar Walls by Sheena Easton from 1984.
That was a good song, too.
Sugar Walls was from Scottish singer Sheena Easton's album Private Heaven, and it was pretty obvious what she was getting at with references to blood racing to private spots and spending the night inside my sugar walls. The song was credited to Alexander Nevermind, a pseudonym for Prince. The single had everything to rile the woman who put together the Filthy 15. At the time, Easton defended herself, saying, "We are not embarrassed to be sexy when we want to be. Men have never had to apologize for being sexy. Art is all about being free, and if you don't like it, then tune into something else."
Yep.
This next one on number 3, I find very interesting, and I think after this list is over, we'll have to talk about it. But of all the Judas Priest songs they could have picked, "Eat Me Alive."
That's it?
Yep, Judas Priest,
Wow.
"Eat Me Alive" from 1984.
Yeah.
So Judas Priest had been making albums for a decade by the time Defenders of the Faith came out. The song on the album that caused such a rumpus was "Eat Me Alive," with lyrics about a rod of steel and groan in the pleasure zone. Gore said the song advocated oral sex at gunpoint.
What?
The
Don't.
band responded in '86 with a tune called "Parental Guidance." The band's founding guitarist KK Downing said they wondered, "Have we gone too far?" before deciding, "We were a metal band. We didn't sing about daffodils and roses."
Yep.
Next one on here is "Strap On Robbie Baby" by Vanity from 1984. Wild Animal was the debut solo album by Canadian singer Vanity, which was released by Motown Records in November of '84. The sexually provocative lyrics, "If you want to glide down my hallway, it's open, strap yourself in and ride." Which I was like, I appreciate the innuendo in that.
Yeah.
Glide down my hallway.
Yeah.
And they were written by her then boyfriend, Robbie Bruce. A few years later, she posed nude for Playboy and said she was just putting all of me out there. Before her death in 2016, age 57, she said she regretted being young and irresponsible, a silly woman laden with sin, and said that in later life, seeking truth in Jesus Christ set her free.
Good for her.
And again, here is one of those choices of all the songs that they could have picked.
Yeah, that was an odd one.
Well, not that one. This next one.
Oh, still, it was an odd one for Vanity, even.
Yeah. Next two are odd ones to me. If Glenn has to beep it, he's got to beep it. But it's "Bastard" by Motley Crue from '83. Shout at the Devil is the second studio album of U.S. heavy metal band Motley Crue, and the song "Bastard" made it on to the Filthy 15 list because of the violent lyrics about stabbing someone to death. However, the warning sticker just seemed to attract buyers. Singer Vince Neil said years later, "Once you put that sticker on, that parental warning sticker, that album took off. Those kids wanted it even more."
Yep.
And of all the songs,
Thank you.
there are so many more options for
Appreciate
Motley
ya.
Crue. Are we getting more love?
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't know the name.
thank you, Girly. I'm gonna call you Girly.
Yeah, Girly.
Thank
Appreciate
you,
the
Girly.
donation.
You rock.
Appreciate it.
So number 6 here by AC/DC, "Let Me Put My Love Into You." Granted, this song came out in 1980, and I cannot off the top of my head tell you when "You Shook Me All Night Long" came out, but I feel like that would have been a much better choice.
Yeah, you'd think so, but
So, a 5-year-old tune from the Australian band AC/DC from the album Back in Black stirred up a row between the band and the PMRC, who said the lyrics, "Let me cut your cake with my knife," were profane. The band claimed the attempt to
That's so
censor
weird.
them. The band claimed the attempt to censor them was satanic intolerance.
Oh Lord, that's nuts.
And of course, we got to have it on there. Number 7 is "We're Not Gonna Take It" by Twisted Sister from '84. Dee Snider,
One of
the
the best
vocalist,
songs.
yeah, he defended the song from allegations that it promoted violence. Ultimately, it reached number 2 on the Billboard charts. Snyder said, It strikes me that the PMRC may have confused our video presentation for this song
Yeah,
with the meaning of the lyrics. It is no secret that the videos often depict storylines completely unrelated to the lyrics
yeah.
of the songs they accompany. The video "We're Not Gonna Take It" is simply meant to be a cartoon with human actors playing variations on the Road Runner Wile E. Coyote theme. Each stunt was selected from my extensive personal collection of cartoons.
Yep.
And number 8 is "Dress You Up" by Madonna. And no list of shocking songs, of course, from the 80s is going to be complete without Madonna.
That's true. That wasn't a bad one though.
I feel like they would have had more problem with "Like a Virgin."
Me too. Or Papa Don't Preach or something like that. But Dress You Up in My Love was not bad.
Well, no, see, "Papa Don't Preach" would have been okay because she is standing up that she's keeping her baby.
Well, it could be right. It would have been, oh yes.
So "Dress You Up" was from the album "Like a Virgin." The song was composed by Andrea LaRusso and Peggy Stan's last name I can't pronounce, who were described as 2 New Jersey housewives in newspaper reports. The lyrics, "Gonna dress you up in my love all over your body," hardly seem explicit, and
No.
Madonna laughed off the row saying, "I'm sexy, how can I avoid it?" Number 9 is "Animal," F Like a Beast by Wasp. There were claims that Wasp lead singer and guitarist Blackie Lawless wrote the song after seeing a photograph of lions mating in National Geographic magazine. Its title also guaranteed its place on the PMRC list parade. The band used to introduce the song at concerts with the words, "Well, this one's for Tipper Gore."
Oh, I love it.
Lawless then later became a born-again Christian and stopped performing the songs. And with a good DA rating on their porn rock list here, number 10 is Def Leppard's "High and Dry." Drug and alcohol references landed Def Leppard in trouble with the PMRC, especially for the lines, "I got my whiskey, I got my wine, I got my woman, and this time the lights are going out." The British rockers were bemused by the row, declaring that they had no interest in people with closed minds. Number 11 here I found quite interesting is "Into the Coven" by Merciful Fate from 1983.
Huh.
The song "Into the Coven" by Danish heavy metal band Merciful Fate appeared on their album Melissa. The women behind the Filthy 15 claimed the song fostered an unhealthy interest in the occult, with its plea to "come into my coven and become Lucifer's children." The band said the song was just a musical horror story, and years later, singer King Diamond told Rolling Stone magazine the whole thing was just pathetic. We thought they really must be bored to have time for this. How
Yeah.
they saw those songs said more about them than it did us.
Yeah.
If we want to go from that occult to the next, number 12 is Trashed by Black Sabbath. Because, of course, they couldn't have found a better song to pick.
That's right.
Lyrics about driving after drinking a bottle of tequila would make any sensible person worried, but singer Ian Gillan said that Trashed was in fact about he had crashed drummer Bill Ward's car during a alcohol-fueled race around the grounds of the recording studio. He claimed that the real purpose of the song was to act as a warning against driving under the influence. The band admitted that the accompanying video was intentionally lewd.
Well, at least they weren't on the road.
True, and I mean, I guess if you don't get that they openly say that it's a warning against driving under the influence.
Yeah.
Number 13 on here is In My House by Mary Jane Girls from 1983.
Oh, I used to love that song.
It was written and arranged by Rick James and recorded by American girl group Mary Jane Girls for their album Only For You. The so-called explicit lyrics were lines such as "I'll satisfy your every need and every fantasy you think up." Singer JoJo McDuffie said that the song was just making an innuendo purposefully and tastefully because Rick wanted the song to be playful on the radio.
Yep. And it was a good dance song for the clubs that I wasn't
Yep.
supposed to be in.
Of course.
But I was. Times were different back then. Times were different.
And number 14 on our list here is Possessed by Venom. The album Possessed was released on April Fool's Day in 1985, and the title track has one of, deliberately and presumably, 13 songs. The lyrics, "I drink the vomit of the priests, make love with the dying woman of the evening," were certainly unpleasant and landed the band on the Filthy 15 list. "It was by no means the most controversial song I wrote," said frontman Kronos. The album, incidentally, was recorded in a quaint Sussex village, whose claim to fame was being the subject of a surreal Spike Milligan sketch about victims of the plague suffering from burned trousers.
Oh.
And then finally on our list here is She Bop by Cyndi Lauper. You could argue that Lauper was following in the grand tradition of female singers such as Bessie Smith, who were being suggestive back in the 20s, some 60 years later. Cyndi Lauper offended the PMRC with her innuendo-full lyrics such as "I want to go south and get me some more. They say I better stop or I'll go blind." In the lewd video that accompanied the song She Bop, the song about self-pleasuring was a catchy hit. As Lauper noted, "Sex sells in the music industry. It was a scandal. I brought shame upon my family," she said with a smile.
She's so funny.
But of all the songs of them that they could have picked
For Judas Priest.
What for Judas Priest, for Black Sabbath, for
Yeah,
Motley Crue.
Oh yeah, Motley Crue for sure. Too. I mean,
I've
got some weird picks out of there.
I've got to see when some of these came out. Okay, so they have a problem for Judas Priest, but breaking the law is fine.
Sure.
There I was, completely wasted, out of work and down.
Oh, well, if you're out of work and down, then breaking the law is okay. That's today's standards, though.
Feel as though nobody cares if I live or die,
Kidding.
so I might as well begin to put some action in my life. You know what it's called? Breaking the law, breaking the law. So much for the golden future. I can't even start. I guess the goldenrod was enough for them to
I
pick
guess.
the other.
I want to take my knife and cut your cake, man. Give me that knife. That just sounds so innocent when you just say it like that, you know?
I'm gonna cut your cake with my knife. It's fine.
Yeah. Give me your knife to cut your cake, man.
Yeah, I've gotta see when some of these. And again, you shook me all night long. Came out in '80. They could have picked some much better ones.
Yeah, absolutely.
She was a fast machine. She kept her motor clean.
Yeah. Best damn woman that I've ever seen. And then it goes on.
Knocking me out with those American
Yeah.
thighs.
She had something that I can't ever understand what they say.
She had the sightless eyes.
Oh,
telling
sightless
me
eyes.
no
Thank
lies.
you. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I feel the list for Motley Crue goes on and on.
Exactly. Yes, it does. I'm surprised Van Halen wasn't in there. They were around 83, 84 too, because they had a song Running with the Devil.
Running with the Devil, Hot for Teacher.
Yeah, yeah.
Drop Dead Legs.
Billy Squire, Stroke Me. There's so many good songs. Tipper, you missed so many.
You and your dirty mind weren't thinking dirty enough.
Right. You know what it was. Al never gave her any.
Dee would have been smart. Just had her start reading off those lyrics. What do you assume by this? You don't get laid?
Yeah.
And on that note, we got to cut to a break, folks.
We do.
When you get the notification para or Normal Guys YouTube is live.
And we're back. We're just looking through the outrageous list of Motley Crue songs.
I know.
I mean, Too Young to Fall in Love.
Yeah.
And shoot, they could have picked Shout at the Devil.
Yes. Yeah, that would have been. She'd be clutching her pearls for that one.
And I mean, shoot, Kickstart My Heart was.
Yeah.
Was literally about.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on, I gotta, because it wasn't on this. It wasn't on this list. When did that come out? Now that might have been too late, but I was like, okay, number one on my list for Motley Crue would have been Dr. Feelgood.
Yes.
But that came out in '89, so that might have been too late.
Yeah, it was a little bit too late.
Shoot, they could have topped up their list, but shoot, that would be
Yeah,
that'd be as long as.
I know. Just put them in the clink. They did get mad at all these songs, and they did become all these bands were successful.
Yep.
That's probably what pushed them over.
Well, I mean,
A
it
lot of
was. It pushed
Uh-huh.
their sales.
I know it.
But I mean, like with Prince's there at the end, that album has been certified 13 times platinum and
Yeah,
has sold more than 25 million copies.
yeah. Well, that was popular, so popular when it first came out. Crazy
I
popular.
actually haven't heard that song, but
What?
Darling Nikki.
Oh, really? It's pretty sexual.
Well, I mean, yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't be letting my 11-year-old listen to it.
But I'm sorry, at what point have you heard Prince and been like, let me get that CD for my kid?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, now we probably would because it's Prince, but
Well,
you know,
yeah,
it's like
that's true. Yeah, I
but
mean,
it's like,
an 11-year-old now would probably know what they were talking about, but an 11-year-old maybe in the 80s would probably be going, "What the heck is he talking about?"
well, I feel like me as an 11-year-old probably wouldn't get it.
Right, right.
I'd just be like,
Yeah. Cool song.
now, unless the lyric
Yeah, yeah,
was
Kit.
flat out, oh, hold on, where was it? Uh,
You could look at the
oh,
lyrics.
sex fiend masturbating with a magazine.
Well, yeah, that's a little bit
But
blatant, but
it, well, let me see if that is actually the
I don't
the
think it
lyrics.
is. Right. I don't remember rightly, but uh I don't think it says exactly that. I'm pretty sure it does not say exactly that.
um, I knew a girl named Nikki. I guess you could say she was a sex fiend. I met her in a hotel lobby masturbating with a magazine.
Okay. That's close enough, I guess.
She said, how'd you like to waste some time? And I could not resist when I saw little Nikki grind.
Yeah.
But I mean, granted, being times different from then being an 11-year-old to being an 11-year-old in the 2000s, I would have known what that was.
Yeah,
But I don't know if an 11-year-old then would have known.
exactly. Exactly, Kit. Yeah.
What was he? Yep, yep, yep,
This album's for kids.
yep.
So
But
funny.
no, it's funny with what Kit was saying, like uh the controversy just follows Ozzy. He's
Yeah.
saying like, man, if I was just instantly thinking of Mr. Crowley.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
She would have lost her mind.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
Well, you know, just Tipper Gore isn't pro sex magic.
No.
Uh,
Mm.
I don't know if the banned books could top all the belt that would top the
I don't
Filthy
think so
15
either.
on that one.
You might just save those for next time.
Yeah. Uh, yeah,
Right.
there really weren't any that are going to top some of the reasons with
Mm-mm.
no. Oh goodness. Are you ready to head on out of here, girl?
I'm ready to go.
Well, me and Miss Dina have got
Exactly, kid. Sex magic is what disappeared in her marriage.
Yep.
I
Kid,
love it.
you gotta come hang out with us more.
You do.
You get it.
I'm glad you found us.
Saturdays at 9 Eastern.
Yep.
Then you can come have fun with us. If you like UFL, you can check out the Lit Men on Monday.
Mhm.
Me and Dina have a little interview to do tomorrow that won't be out tomorrow, but we got a cool one with that.
Yeah.
Then you can come hang out with us on Wednesdays with the Para or Normal guys with a Z. And that's also at 9 Eastern. This week we have Ghost Hunter Sophia Temperhill.
It'll be fun.
And then you can come and hang out with us at the same time on Fridays for the Grin and Guardian Gang, which this week we will have Isaac Bentacourt and Susan Smith. And then back here on Saturday for some other kind of shenanigans. Who knows what we'll get into.
It's always a fun time.
Yeah.
There are usually more of us.
But the girls decided to take over this week.
Yeah, we took over tonight. Oh, awesome. Thanks.
And just to say, screw you, Tom Brady.
Yeah, we got in trouble for saying Tom Brady's name because we were talking about his roast.
God forbid the man offer to get roasted and we put our 2 cents in.
Yeah.
Wuss.
Whatever. Goofy man. Oh, my hair is stuck in this. Oh, shoot. Oh, well.
Mine's doing whatever the heck it's doing over here. I don't know.
Go tear this thing out of my hair. Nice.
But yeah, you guys can make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Come find us and hang out. Share it. Share it with your friends, with your cousins, your nieces and nephews. Maybe not your nieces and nephews. 18 and older.
Yeah.
Don't go handing them a Prince album.
That's right.
Warn them first.
Warn their parents.
Like 15 and older for the Prince album. Think about it. But we will see you guys back here next week with some other type of shenanigans to get us all riled up about.
Have some fun.
All right. Thank you guys so much. And we will see you back here next week.
Have a good night.
Boo-boo. Boo-boo.